Hey, it's Tom
And Mike.
from Take Time to Travel.
Paris has so many unique and delicious places to eat and drink, from incredible bakeries and mouth-watering creperies to luxurious Michelin-starred restaurants, traditional French bistros, and inviting cafes. There are so many tasty options to choose from.
During our time in Paris, we tried lots of these amazing eateries, so we wanted to share with you some of our favorites, which in our opinion are also some of the best restaurants in Paris that you have to try.
We'll start with the famous Café de la Paix, which is located just across the street from the impressive-looking Palais Garnier Opera House. Although the restaurant has an attractive patio, we headed inside.
What a gorgeous entryway! On the right-hand side, there was this beautifully decorated smaller room. But we followed the host past the bar and into the main dining room for our lunch reservation. Opened in 1862, this restaurant was absolutely incredible. Loved the gilded paneling, the fluted columns, and the coffered ceilings with painted skies.
We sat down, browsed the menu, and snacked on the complimentary flavored olives and cashews. Then we had these complimentary fresh baked rolls, which were addictive. Tom had 3. We also ordered a large Kronenbourg 1664 beer to share. In such an ornate restaurant, it felt funny to be drinking beer, but it still hit the spot nicely. Since we're in Paris, we had to try the French onion soup with croutons and comté cheese. For the main course, I ordered the confit lamb shoulder with grilled chop, North African spices juice, stewed eggplant, coriander, and confit lemon. And Tom chose the yellowfin tuna tartare with cucumber, avocado cream, wakame seaweed, coriander sprouts, and crunchy radish shavings. The lamb shoulder was super tender, juicy, and delicious. And Tom also really liked his tuna tartare.
As if that wasn't enough, they brought a plate of complimentary mini baguettes and buns, as well as some gourmet jellies and chocolates to finish our meal.
Overall, we loved our lunch at Café de la Paix. The setting was exceptional, as was the service, and everything that we ate was delicious. We would definitely come back again. But let's keep going. There's lots more to eat.
The next restaurant is located on the street just behind the Musée d'Orsay, inside this beautiful building here, which housed the postal and telecommunications operators from 1905. And is now home to the French restaurant Le Climat, which has a Michelin star. We made our way through the front doors of the restaurant and headed inside to give it a try.
The Art Nouveau styled interior features a ceiling with arches embellished with a floral pattern, original brass light fittings, stained glass windows, and old mosaic floors, as well as a conservatory that sits under a glass roof with large bay windows overlooking the secret garden, which we're heading out to now. It's a quiet green retreat, which is the perfect place to escape the busy hustle and bustle of the Parisian streets.
We sat down at this nice table on the lovely terrace and enjoyed the tranquil atmosphere of this gorgeous setting. Then they brought out this huge wine book with one of the most extensive selections of Burgundy wines in France, with over 28,000 bottles in their cellars. Next, for the amuse-bouche, they served us these beautifully presented dishes, which tasted just as good as they looked. Since we're not really wine drinkers, we decided to order a couple of ombre beers, which were perfect on a hot summer day.
For Tom's appetizer, the waiter delicately poured the fresh corn cream around the mackerel fish tartare and burned red pepper sorbet. I chose the artichokes cooked Greek style, stuffed with fresh goat cheese and lemon oil, with peppermint fresh artichoke cream. Both dishes were presented beautifully, and they both tasted absolutely phenomenal as well. For the main dish, Tom ordered the fish of the day, which I think was sea bream cooked à la meunière, with cocoa beans and shellfish, lettuce coulis, and hazelnut butter. And I decided to get the same thing as well. Again, the plate had a mouth-watering presentation, with a great combination of flavors. It tasted wonderful. For dessert, we both chose the flat peach, which had a combination of fresh and cooked peaches with rosemary, puff pastry, vanilla cream, and peach mezcal sorbet, which was incredible. And then they brought out some petite fours. Overall, we loved our meal and thought that the multi-course lunch was reasonably priced at €56 per person, including tax and tip.
The next restaurant is all about quality and quantity. It's called B.O.U.L.O.M. First, we entered into the bakery filled with delicious pastries, fresh baked loaves of bread, baguettes, and even some pizza. As hard as it was, we kept going past these tasty treats and followed the hostess right through the establishment into the back where we found this lovely dining room. It features this beautiful vine-covered ceiling as well as the main reason we were there, the upscale all-you-can-eat buffet. The Michelin recommended buffet had a variety of charcuterie, boiled eggs, as well as various rillettes and terrine spreads, some delicious looking beef tataki, some vegetable cake, tzatziki, tuna ceviche, some kind of sweet eclair pastry, creamy tiramisu, fresh fruit salad, and old-fashioned chocolate cream. Around the corner, there was also some appetizing French toast with assorted toppings, as well as a pan full of custard and mouth-watering blueberry tarts and a raspberry tart. Beside the desserts, there was a seafood platter on ice and some cold side salad dishes with corn, tomato, and watermelon, deviled eggs, and gazpacho soup.
For my first plate, I got a little bit of everything, from some beef tataki and tuna ceviche to some fruit salad and this tasty looking eclair pastry. Tom got a deviled egg, the vegetable cake, as well as some charcuterie, a side salad, and some rillette. As we were working on our delicious first plates, they came around with this coil of sausage, which we couldn't resist. So we each got a piece.
Next, we headed over to B.O.U.L.M's hot plate section, which had these massive beef ribs, this delicious looking roast of pork loin, bread crusted sea bream, more of that tasty sausage coil, a pot of Basque chicken stew, a large pan of lasagna, and some couscous with lamb. Over on the other side, there's a vegetable wok, just behind it some creamy polenta, as well as a pan of ratatouille, and a bowl of fried green guindilla peppers.
For my next plate, I decided to get some beef ribs, lamb and couscous, and some wok vegetables. Tom got the bread-crusted sea bream with some creamy polenta and veg. After those plates, we went up to get our favorite part of the meal, the desserts. Tom got some creamy tiramisu, French toast, and a delicious mystery dessert. And I got some watermelon salad as well as some cheese. After that, Tom grabbed a bowl of soft serve ice cream, and I chose a slice of raspberry tart, a slice of blueberry tart, and some custard.
We loved our Michelin recommended buffet lunch at B.O.U.L.M. Everything tasted excellent, and we thought it was reasonably priced at €32 per person, which included tax and tip.
The next spot is something a little different. It's a scenic Seine River lunch cruise by Bateaux Parisiens, which includes a multi-course meal and wine. We decided to book their privilege service so that we could get a table right by the window to enjoy the picturesque views of Paris from the water.
To start the cruise, we were served a couple of glasses of champagne. What a great way to begin! On top of that, before we left the dock or had even finished our champagne, they brought out a bottle of white wine for the table.
For our appetizers, I had the tuna and vegetable caponata on shortbread with parmesan and spicy roasted peanut dressing. And Tom chose the pressed quinoa and tofu terrine with cream of rocket and pickled red onions.
As we enjoyed our tasty appetizers, we cruised by famous Parisian sites like the Louvre. Then, in addition to the glass of champagne and the full bottle of white wine, they brought over another bottle of red wine for our table. It's amazing how much wine was included with our privileged lunch service.
As we sipped on our wine, we cruised past some interesting modern-looking buildings. Then it was time for the main course. I had the fondant beef with fricas pilaf, sweet pepper confit, and grated feta cheese. And Tom chose the salmon steak with black rice, asparagus, and olive sauce vierge with Chardonnay emulsion. Tom really liked his salmon dish, and my beef was super tender and tasty.
Continuing on the cruise, we passed by more beautiful buildings like the Conciergerie, Our next course was a plate of cheese matured by their maître fromager. It's an extra included with the privilege service.
As we kept going on our scenic lunch cruise, we passed by Paris's most iconic landmark, the Eiffel Tower. What a great spot for a picture! Shortly afterwards, it was time for dessert. I chose the baked Alaska with apricot and coconut, and Tom decided on the strawberry lemon and mint cake roll.
As we enjoyed our delicious desserts, we could see the Statue of Liberty out the window. Then we finished our meal with a couple of coffees. The wonderful lunch cruise lasted about 2 hours, and for those of you wondering, our privilege service, which included all the food, wine and champagne we showed, cost us €79 per person, including all taxes and fees.
If you're looking for some quintessential French food that doesn't break the bank, then make sure to head over to Le Marais and check out Crêperie CREPOLOG. We started our meal with a bottle of their sour cider, which was served with this cute little cup. To eat, I ordered the creperie with pear, melted mozzarella, blue cheese, walnuts, and honey. And Tom ordered the dessert crepe called Crêpe au Vanille with vanilla ice cream, caramel, salted butter, and roasted almonds.
Both of our crepes were delicious, but there's more great restaurants and bistros in Le Marais, like my favorite called Chez Mademoiselle. Inside this cozy French bistro, there's a small bar area. Then in the dining room, there's an exposed brick wall, some funky wallpaper, as well as this cool old mechanical lift with a stone wall behind it.
We sat down and had a look at their French-only menu. It's short, concise, and features only quality seasonal ingredients. Then, to drink, I ordered one of their Fisher beers, and Tom decided to have a nice cold rum and coke with a slice of lemon. For the appetizer, we shared the burrata and green asparagus, which tasted incredible. For our mains, I decided to get the beef tenderloin extra with a tasty pepper sauce, as well as a small side of greens and a huge bowl of creamy mashed potatoes. Tom chose the grilled tuna with sauce vierge, accompanied by leafy greens and creamy mashed potatoes.
For dessert, we shared the delectable cheesecake with red fruits, which came with a huge pot of freshly whipped cream. This was literally the best dessert we had on our entire trip, and we would definitely go back to Chez Mademoiselle just for the cheesecake and whipped cream. And at the end of our meal, we got a free shot of limoncello. What a great way to finish our exceptional dinner.
But let's get going and check out another one of our favorite restaurants in Paris. For Tom's birthday, we walked over to the 12th arrondissement for a reasonably priced Michelin-starred lunch at Versailles. Let's head inside the blue doors and check it out.
We stepped inside the restaurant and followed the hostess over to our table right by the window. We sat down and had a look over their menu. A nice touch that Versailles added was printing our very own menus, which said Joyeux anniversaire Tom, wishing me a happy birthday. That was so thoughtful. Then, to start our 3-course meal, they brought us freshly baked rolls with some locally sourced butter, as well as infused watermelon cubes and puff pastries with smoked fish eggs on top for the amuse-bouche.
For our drinks, we ordered a couple of their vervain beers, which were pretty good. Then our appetizers arrived, which were flamed amberjack and rice seasoned with lemon and silky horseradish vinaigrette with fresh tomato sorbet. The flamed amberjack tasted amazing. What a great combination of flavors. For the main course of our meal, I selected the roasted veal tenderloin, which was accompanied by pan-fried chanterelles and wilted baby spinach, fondant potatoes, yellow wine sabayon, and roast jus. Tom decided to have the seared pollock, which came with green beans and coconut, shellfish jus infused with seaweed and browned butter.
Both of our main courses were excellent, and we finished every bite. Then for dessert, we both had the natural cherries ice cream with milk and rosemary, cherry clafoutis, and cloud of yogurt. My plate even had a little candle that they lit for my birthday. After that, they brought us a couple of complimentary chocolate truffles. We loved my birthday meal at Versailles. Everything tasted delicious, the service was exceptional, and the 3-course meal was reasonably priced at €45 each, including tax and tip.
The next restaurant is a French bistro called Le Colimaçon, where we went for Tom's birthday dinner. We headed inside for our early reservation to give it a try. The restaurant's snug interior features raw stone walls as well as these cool hand-hewn wooden beams, giving it lots of character. To drink, I started with a mojito, and Tom got one too. For the appetizer, we both shared the baked phyllo-wrapped goat cheese with honey and candied tomatoes, as well as the escargot in parsley and garlic sauce. Both the baked goat cheese and the escargot were delicious, and the unique thing was, even the shells on the escargot were edible.
After we finished our appetizers, we saw these horses pulling a carriage down the narrow street, followed closely behind by another horse-drawn carriage clip-clopping along. We think it was for a movie or something.
After that, it was time for the main course. I had the leg of rabbit stuffed with oyster mushrooms and bacon, served with sweet potato mash. And Tom got the duck magret with cumin and honey sauce. Both dishes were tasty, but our favorite was the leg of rabbit, which was exceptional. Then, since it was Tom's birthday, they brought over a couple of complimentary liqueurs to end our amazing meal.
If you're looking for something sweet, then make sure to check out one of Paris's incredible bakeries like Stohrer Pâtisserie. It was founded in 1730 by King Louis XV's pastry chef and is the oldest pastry shop in Paris. When you step inside the gorgeous patisserie, there are treats everywhere you look. But we were instantly drawn over to the showcase with all these mouth-watering pastries and tarts. There were so many delicious looking options that it was tough to choose what to get. And as if that wasn't enough, there were all of these packaged treats ready to take home with you. As soon as we paid and got outside, we couldn't wait and quickly got into our goodies. I decided to try one of the flaky and incredibly delicious croissants, which was the best I've ever had. Mike decided to get one of their delectable strawberry tarts. Isn't that pretty? It's like an edible work of art. It almost looks too perfect to eat. But he's going to anyway, and make a mess while doing it. Well done, Mike. It did taste incredible though.
Next, we'll head over to the neighborhood of Montmartre to show you a fine dining option at one of Paris's Michelin-starred restaurants called L'Arcane.
After checking in with the host, we followed him through the restaurant and over to their lovely terrace, which is surrounded by greenery and covered by this large awning. To begin our meal, we were served these foamy puree shooters to clear our palate. Then they brought out a lovely assortment of hors d'oeuvres, consisting of 3 different types of appetizers for each of us, which were all presented beautifully and tasted great.
To drink, we ordered a couple of rum and cokes, which were both very generous with the rum. After that, they brought around this bread basket, where you could choose these cute little mini baguettes, or a sourdough bun, like Tom did. Then, when we had finished those starters, it was time for the amuse-bouche, which was octopus braised with smoked paprika, coconut, sweet red pepper, and lime.
For the next course, we both chose the langoustine, which was beautifully presented and consisted of a hazelnut tartlet, langoustine tartare with blueberries and peppery black currant. This course was probably our favorite and tasted absolutely incredible.
For the main course, I chose the thornback ray wing with saffron, sour fennel, and brown butter sabayon, which came with a couple of side dishes, the fried potatoes with some greens, as well as this other tasty looking morsel. Tom was adventurous and ordered the roasted pigeon, which was plated wonderfully with a variety of colorful sauces and came with this cute little bao bun with a miniature drum leg, as well as a side bowl of zucchini cubes. What a lovely atmosphere for our delicious meal. Next, it was time for dessert. I ordered the poached peach, which came with jasmine flowers, sweet almond foam, as well as this caramelized millefeuille and frozen iced tea. Tom decided to get the appetizingly presented raspberry blancmange with passion fruit custard and spiced red fruit sorbet. Both of our desserts tasted exceptional, but we really loved the presentation on Tom's dessert. And sorbet on a hot summer Parisian day always hits the spot nicely.
To finish, they even brought out some bites of lemon cheesecake, strawberry jellies, and passion fruit chocolate. Overall, we really enjoyed our multi-course esquisse meal at L'Arcane, but it certainly wasn't cheap at €95 per person including tax and tip. But it's a great place to treat yourself once in a while for a special occasion.
After that Michelin-starred meal, we'll take you to Au Pied du Cochon, which means at the foot of the pig. It's a long-time Parisian brasserie, which was established in 1947 and is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even though they have a lovely terrace, we're going to head inside.
Love the French brasserie's stylish interior decor. The colorful artwork, wood-trimmed ceiling, brass railings, and interesting light fixtures look gorgeous. The front of the restaurant also opens right up to the patio, so it's perfect for people watching. We enjoyed the great view from our table at the front of the restaurant as we browsed over their menu.
To drink, I ordered the Cochon d'été, the summer pig, with Bombay gin, vanilla liqueur, raspberry puree, cranberry nectar, lemon juice, and mint. And Tom had the raspberry mojito with rum, lime, Perrier, raspberry puree, cane sugar, and mint. Both of our drinks were tasty and hit the spot nicely on a hot evening in the summer.
Next, to start, they brought us some complimentary sliced baguette with a nice meat spread. Then for the appetizer, we shared something we both haven't tried before, the frog's legs in a parsley, garlic, and oil sauce.
They were actually super tasty, tender, and delicious, and tasted pretty similar to juicy chicken. For the main course, I chose the 14-hour pork loin confit with risotto. And Tom had a French classic, the Normandy beef tartare with frites. My pork fell apart easily and was extremely tender and cooked to perfection. Tom enjoyed his beef tartare as well. All in all, we really enjoyed eating at Au Pied du Cochon.
The next eatery is on the outskirts of Paris, in the town of Versailles. It's called Crêperie La Place. Let's head inside the front doors and check it out. The interior of the creperie is nice, light, and bright with some funky tropical green wallpaper.
After we sat down, we started with a couple of drinks. I got the bowl of cider, which was included with the Formule Midi lunch menu, and Tom got a Coke Zero with ice to drink. Also with the Formule Midi, I chose La Savoyard Galette with Reblochon cheese, potatoes, bacon bits, onions, and green salad. Tom got La Caprese Galette with mozzarella, marinated grilled eggplant, marinated artichokes, basil, fresh goat cheese, salad, and confit tomatoes. Then, for dessert, we shared La Caribou Crepe with bananas, maple syrup, vanilla ice cream, and whipped cream, which was included with my Formule Midi lunch menu.
We thought that the dessert crepe, as well as our galettes, were exceptional, and we felt they were a great value as well. In addition, Crêperie La Place also has a beautiful terrace surrounded by trees and has views of the Palace of Versailles across the street.
Well, we hope that we gave you some good ideas on where to eat in Paris. If you're looking for some other ideas on what to do on your trip to Paris, then make sure to check out some of our other Paris videos, which we'll link in the description section down below.
As always, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications on our future videos. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps our channel to grow.
And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.